Welcome back to the Patient First Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Bryan Laskin. And as always, I'm excited that you're here. And not only are you here, but we're here in the Chicago Midwinter.
We're here at Midwinter.
Yes, and we have with us Pouria. I want you to, I don't even know your title at Kwikly. What is your...
I'm currently head of growth, so I focus on sales and marketing and really just our expansion, bringing our mission nationwide.
That's great. And so Kwikly, for those of who's been living under a rock, that don't know about what Kwikly is, I should let you say it. How would you describe Kwikly?
Yeah, so we're the nation's staffing leader. We're like Uber, but for dental staffing. We connect the highest quality dental professionals to offices who need staff pretty much instantly.
Yeah, what I really get excited about Kwikly is your technology.
Yeah,
right?
Yep.
I'm a tech guy, right?
Oh, yeah.
We're in the Tooth Apps booth right now,
Yep.
And a lot of staffing agencies out there act like they have technology, but they don't. So can you talk a little bit about the technology piece of Kwikly that really puts you you're pretty far ahead from when it comes to numbers that Kwikly does and also how you do it.
Yep.
So talk a little bit about Kwikly and the differentiators, because I think it's important for the dental practices, the DSOs that are listening, because it's noisy out there. Like us, right? We're both in aspects of the industry where it can look like there's people that are doing something similar, but they're not.
Yeah, definitely very noisy. I agree. Anybody can build a platform, right? Anybody can throw up a job board. You can do that overnight on a website. But the biggest thing that sets Kwikly apart is its customization and specific tools to dentistry, right? So it's not just me talking about this, right? We have raving reviews on our platform. The biggest thing that offices love specifically is they can go through there and request any type of staff that they're looking for, but they're also looking for certain skills, right? So not every type of temp fits the office, right? They might be looking for a certain personality, a certain technology. That's a big feature that our offices love. The other thing is just the ease of use, right? So we have an app for the offices and the professionals. They can use it on the go whenever they're looking for staff. But really, like I said, anybody can create just a website that's a job board, but Kwikly is more focused on just the dental aspect, and it's backed by great people in dentistry too. So we get dentistry, we know what it looks like. So I think that's really the biggest thing that sets us apart.
Yeah, you actually hit on a big point. One of the gaps I see in technology is that a lot of technology companies are obviously developed by software engineers, so it depersonalizes care. Right, and I think that's like what we're doing at Tooth Apps is trying to make it so that we can free up people to do what they do best, which is take care of other people. And you're doing the same thing with Kwikly, where you're enabling, and you've built a culture where the best team members want to be working with Kwikly. So could you talk a little bit about the people aspect?
Yeah, absolutely. So pretty much everybody at Kwikly has either worked in a dental office or they have some kind of background in dentistry, and that's really important to us. And going back to the software, we're always customer first, right? We're thinking about what the customer wants. When they're logging in, they don't have time to call people. They don't have time to worry about their short list of staff or rescheduling patients. They just want a quick solution. So we always keep that first ahead of mind. And we build the platform to make sure that it's just super easy to get a temp, right? 3 clicks and you have someone filled within the hour. Having people in dentistry who understand it really makes it easy to customize those features best to the user.
Yeah, I think it's funny. I did 7 myths of dental software, and one of the things that I pointed out was you want to work with technology companies that understand the business of dentistry. And when I listen to other staffing agencies, you listen about this sort of origin story, it's usually, I was doing this thing and I had a buddy that was a dentist, and so I was like, I can do that. And they threw up a job board, right? Where from the very beginning, I want to touch on a piece that I think that's huge for dentistry that most people don't think about, which is the differentiation between having the Kwikly temps that are all W-2 employees versus 1099 independent work contractors.
Nobody knows, right?
Yeah, so we can talk about that a little bit.
Of course. More and more hygienists are starting to understand the right way to temp, right? When it comes to finding temporary jobs, it's very important to be aware of the different compliance laws. And more people are starting to understand that at the end of the day, W-2 is the way to go, because all the tax pieces and all the paperwork is handled for you up front, reduces the risk on the office's side, and for the professionals, they don't have to worry about tax season at the end of the day. So we really make sure that all of that is taken care of at the right price ahead of time, so all they have to worry about is temping, and the offices really care about patient care.
Yeah, and I know a bit about the tech. We're talking about the top layer of the technology of Kwikly. It runs so deep and so wide.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much you're willing to talk about now, but now you're working a lot with the DSO market too.
Right.
So,
right.
And we do have a lot of audience members. Thank you for watching that and listening that work in DSOs.
Yep.
So do you want to talk a little bit about the differentiation that Kwikly brings to group practices?
Yeah, absolutely. So DSOs are looking for somebody reliable, right? It's about the biggest thing is the quality. So we vet every single professional that applies to work with us, right? So we don't just let anybody come into your office. We get probably over 1,200 applicants a month. We only accept about 30%.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So each professional, they're personally interviewed by our staff. Our staff is always looking out for how they're going to carry themselves in the office, what their strengths and weaknesses are. We give the offices all of that information so they know who's coming into their office, right? So our DSO specifically, who really are high-paced environment, they really want somebody good. They really appreciate that. And the other thing is we ask for 2 references in the dental industry at the minimum before we let them onto our platform. Now, the other bigger thing that we're hearing from our larger partners with practices across multiple states is just the fact that we have a lot of staff across multiple different metros. So we're constantly recruiting across the nation. And if you're a DSO that you've got offices in Dallas, Milwaukee, Minneapolis, you have offices all over the place, you want kind of consistency, right? You want a staffing partner that you can rely on. So we do our best to make sure that we have staff in every single major metro where the DSOs have offices.
It's funny, there are probably leaders in the industry or people that maybe are office managers or own practices, and they might not know Kwikly, but in all of those markets, if you ask a hygienist, everybody knows Kwikly. It's like it is like the Rolex of it's like what all the hygienists want to be part of, right?
Right.
So I mean, it is the pinnacle of, like you said, it's the leader in so many ways.
And a lot of hygienists, we turn away a lot of hygienists, and it's great, but it's not, because some people, they get a little frustrated because they're like, man, I've been doing hygiene for 10 years, but we have a really high standard, right? Kwikly is the elite when it comes to staff, and our numbers back it. So we make sure that the highest quality people are on our platform because we want the best experience.
Yeah, it's funny. I had an experience actually walking with one of the other team members who was here today where I tripped, and it was at the ADA meeting this year.
Yeah.
And the person who saw me trip, like, looked at me funny.
Yeah.
Like this was somebody walking on the sidewalk. And I said, oh, sorry, because I'm from Minnesota, so we apologize.
Yeah, right.
Close enough to Canada, right? So I said, oh, I'm sorry. And her response was, don't be sorry, be better. And I was like, wow, that's awesome. Yeah. It's like, for the people that don't make the cut, sorry, just be better.
Yeah, and we give them a chance to reapply. Yeah, so I believe it's 6 months. We give them a chance to reapply. Same thing with our policy for our professionals on the platform. It's super strict. We have a 3-strike policy. Anybody who no-called, no-shows to an office, 3 strikes, you're out on the dot right there. So you can reapply after that, after 6 months, but if you're not showing up to an office, that's 3 strikes. And depending on your behavior, if we receive bad reviews, you'll receive a strike. And once you receive 3, then we don't let you work with our offices anymore. That's really just how it works.
At high level, I think it's, if you think about it, if you ask any dentist right now what the biggest problem in their practice is, it's probably finding and retaining the best team. Kwikly, 1,200 professionals a month, and you're turning away a third of them, right?
Correct.
And so you are actually doing what builds culture, which is the selection process, and then holding people accountable, right? If you care about your culture, if you care about your patients, if you care about the people that are treating your patients, there's really one staffing agency to work with, right?
Yeah,
so,
I mean, it's the first day of midwinter. I think it's still mid-morning. Yeah. And I've had at least 4 to 5 offices stop by our booth and literally thank us. They're like, man, your guys' hygienists are just much different, right? The people we get with you guys, we're really happy with. So we've got already 4 to 5 people who have already just thanked us for that.
That's awesome.
So I'm really happy to hear that. I'm glad to meet a lot of our offices and our professionals. And our mission is to bring that Kwikly experience nationwide. Yeah.
Want me to be the 6th dentist to thank you for what you're doing? Because I think it's important, right? Because every Kwikly team member that's taking good care of a patient like that just has a rippling effect. And so, so it's really elevating the profession. And frankly, it's filling a need of having a really great work environment for team members that hopefully we can retain more people in the industry.
So I know, Brian, a lot of DSOs watch this podcast. So I think the biggest thing that Kwikly is working on for the DSOs is actually reducing your staffing costs. So I think that's funny coming from Kwikly, right? But as a DSO, if you've got 40 locations in a major metro, you have a lot of staff, right? So if location A is short-staffed and location B is overstaffed, why not move some staff from location B to A, right? So we're coming out with a workforce management solution that we're already piloting with all the major DSO partners to be able to make that possible. So in addition to using Kwikly, you would be able to actually manage your internal staff all through the Kwikly platform. And depending on your schedule, if it's open, one click and you've got a reliable member of our staff into your schedule. But you can fill your shifts first with your internal staff to not only save you money, but also give your staff an ability to work at different offices and have a better culture to, they're overworked, they might be overworked, they want to work at other offices. So the people that we've piloted that with, they really enjoy that, especially the staff.
Well, or you might have a team member that only works 2 days a week, but they're going on vacation. They want to make a little more money, and rather have them moonlight in another practice. They can fill shifts within your group. I think it's great. I think it's great. Pouria, where can people go to find out more information about Kwikly?
Yeah, absolutely. If you're at Midwinter, we're at booth 5114. Otherwise, our website is a great resource, joinkwikly.com. That's joinkwikly.com. But we're looking to have more conversations with DSOs, offices, and professionals who want to make the staffing space easier.
Great. Thanks, man.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. Appreciate the conversation.
Take care.
Yeah.